Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 books in the entire year, here comes the book number 157. The name of the book that we have today is Problem Solving 101, written by Ken Watanabe. Let us see brief information about the author, Ken Watanabe. He is a Japanese actor, and for English speaking, he is known for playing tragic hero characters, and he written few other books as well. He has made movies and TV shows. The Last Samurai, The Creator, Inception, Memoirs of Geisha, Tokyo Vice, Godzilla, and Letters from Iwo Jima. So there, he born in 1959. So age of 64 years. He wrote a beautiful book called The Problem Solving 101. Let us see the target audience and top 3 lessons from this lesson. Thus, this book. Target audience: the 9-year-old third grader who has a chance to learn proper problem solving right from the earlier starting of childhood. The 30-year-old young professional who could use a reset on how she tackles problems after college. Anyone who wants to jump to conclusions. Synopsis, small synopsis before going further. Problem Solving 101 is a universal 4-step template for overcoming challenges in life. Based on a traditional method Japanese school children learn early on. Let us listen from the author himself. Do what is right because it is right. I recently co-authored a piece gathering 303 life lessons we all eventually learn but often forget. The list reminded me of all the important subjects we never study in the school, which is nothing but human behavior, work habits, creativity, relationships, communications, love, and personal finance, as an example. The skill Ken Watanabe explains in this book ranks highly on the list, which is nothing but problem solving. Having a methodical approach to how you deal with the problems as opposed to just going by gut and feelings can make a big difference in how successful you are in overcoming your obstacles. What's interesting is where Watanabe found this approach in his school days. The Japanese education system has long had a leg up on its Western counterpart, and they also have a much better concept of retirement called Ikigai. When it comes to the problem solving, Japanese children learn a basic, unique, universal template in their first years of school. Those are some smart schools. Breakdown, analysis, hypothesis, execution. These are the 4-step template. Breakdown, analysis, hypothesis, and execution. What Watanabe has described here is the scientific method, except he did it in a way everyone can understand. Teaching children this from a young age helps them think on their feet decades later. When they enter the working world, they will find real world problems less complex and confusing. If I ever do come up with a school of life, there will definitely be a class called Problem Solving 101. After growing up in Japan, then studying in the US, it is exactly this template that Ken Watanabe decided to share in the book Problem Solving 101. Let us see the top 3 lessons from this book. Here are 3 underlying activities you need to use it. Lesson number 1. Instead jumping straight from finding a problem to attempting to solve it, break it down first. Whatever the problem that you have in your life going through, break it down first. Second one, gather data to analyze all potential root causes and solutions. Whatever the data that you have, gather all the data to analyze all potential root causes and solutions. And the third important lesson is formulate hypotheses and methodically test them to find what works well. If you often find yourself jumping ahead first into solutions that don't really fix your problems, this one is for you. Welcome to Problem Solving 101. Let us see the lesson number 1. The first step of properly tackling any problem is break it down properly. Let us say you and your partner want to move in together and start a family. You and your family want to start together and start a family. You have both entered the working world a couple years ago and are now looking to buy a home. However, once you look at your salaries and your expenses, your budget, you realize you can't afford the kind of the home you want your future kids to grow up in. What could you do? In this situation, most people would either resign to waiting for their next promotion or force themselves to randomly cut back on a big spending point. Whatever they're spending in the monthly expenses, they cut down the big spending point. However, the trick to solving such a seemingly complex problem elegantly is not jump at the above question in the first place. So instead, what is the solution for the problem? Break down the problem into various aspects. In this example, not enough money to pay mortgage for desired house. This is a problem statement. Can be divided into few other aspects. Let us see the breakdown of the problem. We don't have enough money to pay mortgage for desired house. Even that I am also going through the same phase of the problem. Let me go through the breakdown of the problem. Too little income. This is one of the aspect. Too high expenses. This is another aspect of the problem. And expectation of the future house. This is the another of the problem. Once you have categories, now I have 3 categories: too little income, too high expenses, and expectation of future house. It is very easy to continue digging into deep. Watanabe recommends decision trees. Let us take an example. You could now list causes for the too little income. What are your causes for too little income? Why? Because you are depending on only one source of income. And he made it like my company pays less than the industry average. That is what I am also going on. Or I did not get the promotion or expected incremental. When going all these sub branches, decision trees, you can mark each one with yes or no to determine whether it is actually part of the problem. So with a proper breakdown in hand, it is much easier to analyze the causes and potential solutions of any problem in your life. So if you want to tackle problem solving 101, the first step you need to do is break it down into categories. Let us see the lesson number 2. Make sure you analyze all potential root problems and solutions by gathering data and reflecting on it. Of course, it is impossible to be 100% objective when judging what led to your problem. But that's where the analysis comes in. For each and every root cause that you marked with a S in your decision tree, ask what you need to verify your answer. What data you need to verify your answer. For example, to see if your salary is below industry average, my case, you can use Google to compare it to several statistics, even Glassdoor reviews or AmbitionBox. You can use the Google and other resources to compare it. What is the several statistics saying for you? And to figure out why you didn't get promoted, this is the another case. Ask co-workers when they were last promoted and come up with your own company internal data. Means In my case also, I asked the same thing. I asked my co-workers when they were last promoted. In the same manner, it is happened for me. So it is happening. I have collected the company internal data. What are the, how many years of the co-workers they have spent in this company, and what are the other scenarios that we have seen. The point of analysis is to never accept the statements at face value. Just a minute. The point of analysis is to never accept statements at face value, including your own. It gets you to pause and reflect before moving on, which is what makes it so valuable. That's why it also applies to all potential solutions you subsequently brainstorm. If you want to confront your bias, or if you want to confront your boss with a below average salary claim, you better bring lots of data from good sources to back it up. At the same time, if you find it is easier to collect data from other solutions or other sources, like cutting your expenses on monthly subscriptions, because you still have all your receipts. Analysis also helps you determine which solutions have the best cost to benefit ratio. Find out all the breakdown areas. In the breakdown areas, analyze all the data that you have. If you want to cut down your monthly expenses, find out the biggest spending area of your last month and last 3 months or 6 months. Find out biggest spending area and try to work on it, whether you want to enhance it or whether you want to reduce it. Let us see the lesson number 3. When trying to find a solution, formulate multiple hypotheses and then test them one by one. Analysis helps you separate the wheat from the chaff. From the chaff, you are separating the wheat. When it comes to the sources of your problem as well as your options to get rid of it. However, the pool of your choices that you have with is still a just of a set of ideas. It is not like single idea. You will have set of ideas. And there are no guarantees that you have identified the correct causes or that executing a chosen solution will actually bring relief for your problem. That's why you should think of your selection as a hypothesis. Like if you have multiple options to go with, take each and every option and find out what are the pros and cons of the situation or solution. A hypothesis is defined as a currently accepted statement that could be proven wrong later. What's great about approaching our plans this way is that you will stay flexible. You are not entered into that really, but you are analyzing the hypothesis whether that will work for you or it may go wrong. Maybe confronting your boss won't work. If it doesn't, what matters is that you can quickly switch to a different plan of action rather than circling back to your initial hopelessness. Whenever you feel lost or you don't want to do whatever you are doing, take an intermediate step of analysis. Get more data, reflect on new information, and then change the course. With an approach like this, you will never really get stuck. Even if problems won't disappear overnight, you will always have some sense of what to do next. So here comes the 4-step simple template for overcoming challenges in life, which is nothing but breakdown, analysis, hypothesis, execution. We have seen these three in the lesson, 3 lessons, and execution is in your action time. So whatever you have challenges in your life, break down them, breakdown of your challenges in multiple categories, analyze each and every category, what to be done, what has been happened, and make some hypothesis. If you have selected this path, what are the pros and cons of that, and what are the benefits of selecting that path. and finally execute the hypothesis whatever you have selected. This is the simple template that has been followed in the Japanese education system, and it is very well established, and it also provided beautiful ikigai concept from there. So that's how the problem solving 101 has been generated from the author, anchor, teacher, and as well as movie actor Ken Watanabe. So let us see the 3 lessons again. Break down your problem and analyze each and every problem solution for each and every category. Formulate multiple hypotheses. Don't go with single hypothesis, multiple hypotheses, and test them one by one. And once you feel that the hypothesis is going to work for you, execute it. That's all from my side. See you in another book summary tomorrow. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing. If you have any queries, you can shoot out in the comments below.